Hello folks, welcome to another edition of Trading Options with AP. Today is the 2nd of September. Imagine it's September already. Welcome AP to the session. I hope you had a great trading day today.
Yeah, it was thanks for having me on the show. It was quite a crazy day. It opened gapped up because of the MAC and whatever, and then tested a new low. So it was an interesting day today.
Yeah, I can imagine. In fact, a lot of time has passed since our last session. I think we finished August with a fairly good a set of trades from apart from one trade on 16 July. I think most of the trades came in August, and we saw that the portfolio went in from 75,000 and returned about 1,33,000 just in August, and only long options. I mean, that is an incredible trade for a month which saw literal carnage on the markets.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, this is a very conservative return. If we go by each trade one by one, this one revenue could have easily been maybe 250.
I think that's the aim. You'll probably end up with.
Actually, it has shown to a lot of people and myself that even when the trades are shared publicly, it is possible. It's not just in hindsight.
True. I think that's the point. Here, really, it's about you've literally explained every single trade as it was taken, and that's great education as well. And as a disclosure to everybody else, this is purely educational, and please consult an advisor or take your own decisions before trading.
Yeah, in fact, the best part of it is there are a couple of people who have shared with me their details in private. They have taken the trade which I gave and trailed them as per their own belief and views, and they have made a real killing. I mean, I was amazed to see even people who are first timers in options, they have got profits of more than 1.5 lakhs in August.
Awesome. AP, I think I've lost your video, or maybe you can share the screen again just to quickly do this. So while we do that, I think the interesting thing is the learning that comes in from every trade, and the fact is that you could get very different results if you just held them for a little bit longer. I think you want to broach that topic a little more by talking about certain trades and the way things evolved around them.
Yeah, in fact, two trades which definitely come to my mind, which because of the market condition, I had taken them, and then they went against the trade, and then finally we had to take an exit almost at cost. In one case, slight small loss also. But then if we had held them on, looking at the condition of the market, they would have been multi-baggers.
Awesome. Which ones are those?
Lupin put and Sun Pharma put.
Okay.
Two puts which we took towards the end of last month.
So, do you think we should maybe look at the chart and see why we exited? Okay.
I'll explain on the chart. Can you see the chart now?
I can see a Nifty chart right now.
Yeah, right. This is Nifty. So if you see over here on the 20th of August, Nifty had started showing weakness. Of course, it was not known that it will gap down the next day. That was, that you can see only in hindsight. But then it had started showing weakness. On the same day, I had given a Lupin. If you see this, Lupin had shown weakness on the same day, and that's why I had given Lupin when Lupin was around 1790. I had given Lupin 1750 put.
I see.
Which was in the range of around 10 or 12, I think, on the 19th.
I see.
Yeah, here. Well, that was the same day when market had started showing weakness, and what happened was next day Nifty did gap down, but then Lupin shot up because of some news of some approval, or as usual these pharmaceutical companies are heavily dependent on some cues from US or FDA or whatever. They got some approval or some news came, and it shot up to 1938 in the first 3 hours. By 11:30 in the morning, it was already 1938, and Nifty was still gap down and it was still coming down. So that was a place where there are some stocks which are normally contrary to Nifty. So I was thinking, what can be done with Lupin? But then since the put had already gone down to 7 or 8, or 5. I said let's hold on for a couple of days because Nifty is still weak.
Got
And
it.
exactly the same thing happened. Then Lupin did that, made that top at about 11, then started coming down. In the next couple of days, it came down. But what happened was, since the put came to the cost of about 12, 13 rupees, I said it's better to take an exit. But if we had taken the low of the previous day as the stop loss, which was only around 3, the next day the put went to as high as 48, 49,
Wow.
which my initial target was this top of 32, 30, 32. So maybe we would not have held on till 49, but even then from 12 it could have given a trade till 30, 32. But then we had to take an exit at cost because of the way Lupin behaved in spite of what Nifty was doing.
Interesting. So we got in, and you watched it go all the way down till 3, and then when it retraced till 12, that's when you exited.
Yeah,
But
because the reason behind holding the put was the market had become weak, no doubt. There was a breakdown in Nifty, so definitely it was almost okay. I can't say sure, but there was a very good chance that Lupin will give an exit in the put.
got it.
So after
Got it.
that, the only thing I was looking for is the exit in the put.
Got it. And I remember that day also. I think when it was starting to move up, the put was when finally Lupin gave way, and it went all the way up. Of course, it closed the series at a 0, but I think the important thing is it
Yeah,
went and gave you an
the
exit.
target was 30, 32. So I can't say we would have booked at the high which it made at 50, but then from 12 the target was 30, 32. The high
Correct.
was here.
Correct. So that means it's awesome. That's an awesome idea. So you got out too early in one. I guess that was one of the learnings. Um, and perhaps the stop loss could have been kept at 3, which was there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, since the market was still weak, there was no reason to take an exit in panic. So the logical thing was take an exit at cost. That was what we did.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Similar thing happened to Sun Pharma. The same day, Sun Pharma also gapped up along with Lupin in spite of Nifty being weak. And Sun Pharma also, I had given the put the previous day, which luckily was booked half. I had given 880 put.
880 put. Yes, I remember this.
Yeah. It was here, and I think I gave it at 8 or something over here, and then there was a partial booking then at 11. So in the case of Sun Pharma, it was even more comfortable than Lupin because the cost had come down to only 5
Got it.
of the balance. But in spite of that, what happened was next day, Sun Pharma also gapped up along with Lupin. It went up and made a high of 964. And the
Right.
same logic was also used for this case. The put went down to same 2. And then after a couple of days when Sun Pharma became weak, the logical thing was to take an exit near cost. And then, as you can see, this put went to as high as 35. Okay,
Wow.
the target I had in mind was about 25, but it went even beyond that 35. So these two trades, even though we took a small hit or exit at cost, they could have been 2 or 3 baggers.
Oh yeah, I mean I remember. In fact, I took this trade. I think that it was started at 6 rupees, and then I think it went to. I mean, just to 11 itself was a big deal because it happened quite very fast.
Yeah, it happened, the 6 to 11 happened in a couple of hours only. That
Yeah, that was quite remarkable. And I think it's got, Sun is probably shaping up for another trade right now because it's just broken the 900 barrier. Consign. I think it's 888 right now. So
Yeah.
perhaps that is also shaping up. Do you,
Yeah.
on this front, do you think where psychology, I guess, plays a role because now you're dealing with hundreds of people looking at your trades versus you're trading on your own. Does that play a different role in the way you think about exits?
Yes, to be honest, yes. This is not something which comes naturally. So one has to get used to the fact that someone else is trading on the basis of what you have explained. And then if they start asking questions, then the logical thing to do is get out if your cost is coming. I mean, you take a step backward and don't follow the basic steps which you had in mind before taking the trade.
Got it. So it's essentially like if it's your money, you take a different risk, you take a higher risk. But if you're ever thinking that if another person is asking me a question, I would actually feel bad about asking that person to take more risk in a way. In
Yeah,
that,
it's a
I
kind of
guess
fact.
That is true. And again, this is a game of. I think you probably know this more than I do. That the high risk and high reward stakes make sense only when you take that high risk. Otherwise,
Actually, in the problem is in this case the risk was not high at all. I mean,
correct.
when you have bought a put at 8 rupees and 10 rupees, and I think the cost lot size is 250 or something like that. You're not even looking 5,000 rupees total.
Right. Per trade.
Completely normal. But still, when someone asks it is going down, then you also okay, it is coming close to your cost, get out now.
That's a.
So the reward, you lose sight of the reward in under that situation. That is the problem.
Got it. And I think, given your options, we've seen a very volatile week. Would it make sense right now to consider, apart from the long positions, which probably will end up losing, like today, all the put options, although Nifty was down, say 50, 60 points, most of the put options have lost premium because of the fall in IV.
Right.
Does it make sense now to consider maybe a combination of long and short options, or
Yeah, in fact, there have been amazing trades in short options also, but problem is not many people do it because it requires, like we discussed so many times, buying a call or a put is maybe just 5,000, 10,000 rupees.
correct?
But shorting a call or a put takes maybe 50, 60,000 rupees. So if there are people who are interested, yes, of course, those trades also can be explained.
Got it. In fact, I think with November we will see a lot more in terms of margins. So you were 50,000 today will become 1.5 lakhs in November. So that will change things. Well, that's great. I think this is a good learning experience, and I guess going forward, I mean, is there anything that you might say that people should watch out for in the near future in terms of the option trades?
Yeah, and as I said, the what happened in August was quite normal, but what would have happened in August is also normal if the discipline is maintained. So that 75 to 1.33 is not something abnormal, definitely. Of course, for a lot of people who are new to options, they find it is amazing because their portfolio has gone down, but this has gone up in August. Even if the portfolio goes up, it goes up only by 10 to 15%, and this goes up by 70-80%. Even that is abnormal. But even this 70-80% is below normal in my view because it can be much more if done properly.
I agree.
And these kind of trades come every month irrespective of what the market is doing, whether it is going up, whether it is going down. I mean, sometimes market can remain range bound, but there are still some stocks which give a good move. So it's just a question of keeping an eye or keeping eyes open for that kind of trade.
That's a great point. I think it's the concept of never give up just because you've made a loss. You have to be adequately capitalized and ready for the next trade. So on that note, that's been a great session. Thanks very much, AP, and I hope the next few days will return even more richer returns.
Yes, my pleasure.
Thanks, AP. Cheers.